I've made nearly 20 YouTube videos rating your FIFA career mode saves. Maybe you've watched my FIFA 23, FC 24 or FC 25 series, but today we're turning the tables. Instead of rating the latest saves from the latest games, I've asked people to send in their retro saves and tell me all about it. So today I've picked the 5 best and I'm going to rate them based on how good I think they are. All of the saves posted in today's video were first posted over on Discord, so if you're interested in being in a future video like this one, make sure you join with the link in the description below. Of course, don't forget to play along and post your ratings of the saves in the comments below so we can try and find the best retro FIFA save of all time. We're starting with the oldest full save that anyone has sent over. This one is from FIFA 18, which I can't believe is nearly 8 years old. In their save, Mukchiki has been rebuilding a Japanese side with Brazilian players, which is not only a great idea, but also one that proves the value of some of these older games. You straight up cannot do this on FC 25. There is no Brazilian league and definitely no Japanese clubs that you can move into other divisions. Well, actually, let's look at what's been happening in the J League. And the first thing you'll notice is that we aren't in it. We're actually in the MLS, which is something I've never seen someone do before. The West Conference has the 11 best Japanese teams, while the Eastern Conference has the 11 best Brazilian teams. All the other teams got put into the Korean division, so it's like there's this Super League with a second division, which is such a cool idea that's at play too. So you might be interested to know what Machiki actually achieved as Osaka boss. Well, quite a lot. By July, I think they've got the hang of playing FIFA 18 again, because they were undefeated for 2 months. This also included the first game against the Brazilian club, where Osaka would batter Fluminense 5-2 in the Japanese-Brazilian Cup. Osaka would then beat Urara in the next round, Curitiba in the semi-final, and would be facing Botafogo in the Japanese-Brazilian Cup final. Things went really well. Osaka were on top throughout the entire game and would end up lifting the trophy, which is actually a pretty good omen for the rest of the league season. Something similar would also happen in the league too. In the all-Japanese side of the conferences, Osaka would win, meaning they'd play Cruzeiro in the grand final. This was a very evenly matched league, so legitimately any team could have made it to the final, which is usually how the MLS ends up too. Anyway, Osaka won, and one of my favourite parts about this save was Yasuhito Endo retiring just after the trophy lift, but that was the only season of the save that was submitted, which means we can now rate it. As always, I'm going to be ranking each save in 4 areas. How realistic the save is, how difficult it seems, how fun it looked, and how original the save idea was. This feels like a fair way to rank easy but realistic saves against unrealistic but very challenging difficult saves. So let's get rating this one. Here are my ratings. Sure, realism isn't something that the save ever really claims, but they don't sign Ronaldo and Messi, so I've just given them an average rating for that. However, the amount of fun and originality in this idea are both top class. The difficulty seems about right too, and it was a really fun save to read through and have a look at. Thank you Machiki for such a fun submission, even though it was submitted a long time ago. Just before we get on to our next save review, I thought I'd also mention the newest feature from my partner site FC Tools Hub. They've introduced a save rewind feature that allows you to generate screenshots for social media that look like this, and I'd love to see some of your favourite saves. It's easier than filling out one of these huge threads like the guys in this video have already done, so tag me in them over on Discord so I can see what teams, players and saves you love to use in FC 25. So back to rating saves then, and believe it or not, my first save rating was all the way back on FIFA 22. I'm not sure if it's still even online because there were some really annoying issues with that video, but that's the year we're looking at now anyway. If you watched a save review video before, you'll know Tuoi, and this guy just makes the best threads with the best quality stuff, and this save is no exception. They played as Burnley, and Hristo Stoichkov was the manager on FIFA 22, which might sound like a bit of a random combination, but it was actually Tuoi's favourite player in Ultimate Team that year, combined with his love for Wout Weghorst, which is undeniably a very fun combination. You have one of the best strikers of all time, a true FIFA legend, being managed by Hristo Stoichkov. How did the save really look though? Well, the goal of the save was to try and play the Burnley way while also avoiding relegation from the Premier League. They would go down this season in real life, and I think that's one of the best ways to play these older games. Play a short single season and try and use your save to change history. There were so many fun goals in this thread, but the results also seemed fairly realistic too. Wins were rare, draws would happen every now and then, and losses were actually quite frequent. But could Burnley survive? Well, the thread was full of names that you might just about remember. Ashley Westwood, Matej Vidra, Richaldi Bazoa, and even Connor Roberts, who just moved from the Swansea team I was managing on FIFA 22 to Burnley in FIFA 23. If we skip to the end of the season, Burnley would finish the season with games against Man United and Leicester, who were 2nd and 5th in the Premier League. With time running out against Manchester United, Cornet would play a Kevin De Bruyne-esque pass through, Brownhill would finish, and Burnley were pretty much safe. In fact, that was confirmed in the next game against Leicester City, and it was actually quite amusing to see United and Leicester in title battles, but that's just how far back this save really was. Now the save was over, and it's time to rate the save. It's a short save, so it is kinda hard to rate the realism, but the transfers that I did see looked pretty good. The club was mostly kept together, there were no bizarre signings, and it's hard to rate it lower than I did. The rest of the ratings are going to look like this. It's a difficult save, but it's fairly fun, I imagine, to have played it too, and it's a cool idea to go back to this era and choose Burnley rather than someone like PSG when they had Neymar, Mbappe and Messi up front. So thank you so much to OE for submitting, and I hope you enjoyed about your 10th time in one of these save rating videos. If you like manager backstories, then Eli's save with FC20 might be the best one you could read. There's a full backstory to the Brazilian manager Kevin Vieira's move to the Netherlands, from his style of football, to his playing career, to the legacy he would leave at his previous club Botafogo. Every single signing for FC20 was given a very good summary too, so you would know exactly why Vieira would choose the players that most people might not actually know. The first season got off to a great start, it is safe to say, with 5 wins, no draws and no losses, which saw a Manager of the Month award head to Twente. All of the results were posted in these monthly update videos, and if you can't tell, things went really well in Season 1. Twente were in the Champions League. The Champions League update video had a bit of effort put into it. Some of them had memes, some of them had montage music, which I sadly can't include, but as you'd expect from the group of death, Twente were no longer in the Champions League. Season 2 ended with FC Twente in 3rd, which is only Conference League football, but sometimes that is actually better. In fact, that season, FC Twente would make it a treble. They almost went unbeaten in the Conference League, Wolves had nearly knocked them out, but Twente came back. They won the Orange Becker, they won the Eredivisie, and they also beat Rennes in the Conference League final. That is how you end a save. This was always going to be the end of the save. It was always a 3-season shootout to see what could be done. But again, the transfers were spot on, the goals were nice, and the realism was usually quite good too. So, let's rate this save. And here's what I've gone with. With the results in the Champions League, the difficulty must be about right. The transfers were realistic and all had reasoning behind them. The save idea isn't really anything special, but this was also a save that was made before I asked for saves. So it was all Eli's idea to go back in time and send a FIFA 23 save, which makes it so much cooler. Overall, it was a really fun and quick read too. There was no fluff, just storylines, which I've really loved. Thanks again, Eli, and check out his thread in the description below. This next save is a little bit more complicated than the others because this thread actually had 3 saves going on at the same time. The first one was with Huesca in FC 24 in the Spanish 2nd Division. The next was with Sean Dyche with Burnley, and then there was another with Stoke back on FIFA 15 when they were still a Premier League team. For the start, we're going to be focusing on the Stoke save, but I'll also let you know a little bit about the Burnley and Huesca ones too. So, I love the Stoke save because it's the type of football that Maisie is playing. It's the style you'd expect from Stoke City, it's long ball, it's route one, it's that brutal old school style English football, and that's why I love playing these retro games. You can play like that with Stoke in FC 25, sure, but it's not the same as Begovic hoofing it to Crouch to knock it down to Bojan. It's safe to say that this actually did work for Maisie. He would win a couple of games and also the Manager of the Month award. Sadly though, that's just about as much information as we get from the thread. I thought I'd share it because it was actually the oldest game that I could see someone had used a thread about, and I'm also a huge fan of that kind of football. I think it's actually kind of hard to rate such a small amount of content, but I've gone with these ratings as an average of the Stoke and Burnley saves, which were both on FIFA 15. So for the rest of the video, we're actually going to be rating the Huesca save, because I know Maisie is always making insane threads. This one is no different. This Huesca team were promoted straight away, and by the 4th and final season, they were playing in the Europa League. I've already spent a lot of this video looking at the thread, so I'll keep it as brief as I can, but the signings were always good, the realism was spot on, the growth of the club from the 2nd Division to the Europa League was both fun and also slow enough to be realistic, and just generally everything about this thread I absolutely love. There are Goal of the Season award winners in here, there's weekly match updates, there's really nice screenshots of the matches, the video quality is top notch as always, as you've been seeing, and make sure you check this thread out. But here are my ratings from what I did read. I've gone super high for realism because of the transfers, the fun and the difficulty also seem good too, and while the save idea again isn't that unique, it is not a bad one at all. I love this thread, so thank you for sending it over, even though it was sent in quite a while ago. So that is 4 or 5 saves, depending on how you look at it, that I've rated from some of your retro games in 2025. Hopefully if I do a video like this again next year, there'll be a few more variations of saves from FIFA 12 all the way to FIFA 26 that I can review, and hopefully there'll be some really interesting ones sent in too. This save will be returning in probably October or November when people have had time to submit some FC 26 saves. So if you want to be part of that, as I said at the start of the video, join the Discord and start getting screenshots, start getting good videos, and start making a fun story now so you can prepare to be in one of these threads in the future. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.